I thought my girlfriend's best friend was just protective, but when her ex warned me about Chloe, I started seeing patterns I couldn't ignore. Every decision, every argument, every private moment seemed influenced by her, and now sitting outside the coffee shop watching them together, I realized Jake was right, and I'm facing the impossible choice of staying or walking away from the woman I love. I got a DM from my girlfriend's ex-boyfriend 3 weeks ago that said watch out for Chloe, she's not who you think she is, and I deleted it immediately, told my girlfriend about it, and we both agreed her ex was just being vindictive. But now, 3 weeks later, I'm sitting in my car outside a coffee shop watching my girlfriend, Maya, meet up with Chloe for the third time this week, and I can't shake the feeling that maybe Jake, the ex I dismissed as bitter and jealous, was actually trying to warn me about something real. Not because I think Maya is cheating. Not because Chloe has done anything obviously wrong. But because ever since Jake sent that message, I've been noticing things I'd previously overlooked. Small things. Patterns. The way Chloe always seems to be around. The way Maya changes when Chloe's involved. The way my concerns get dismissed as jealousy or insecurity whenever I bring them up. This isn't a story about trusting your girlfriend's ex over your girlfriend. This is about what happens when a warning you dismiss starts to seem prescient, when you notice patterns you can't unsee, and when trying to address concerns makes you look like the paranoid, controlling boyfriend instead of someone who's genuinely worried about the influence someone has over the person they love. Let me back up. Give context. Maya and I have been together for 8 months. Met through mutual friends, hit it off immediately, moved pretty fast. She's 27, works in graphic design, funny, creative, spontaneous. I'm 29, work in finance, more structured and planned than she is, but we balance each other well. Or at least, I thought we did. Jake is her ex. They dated for 2 years, broke up about a year before Maya and I met. According to Maya, the breakup was mutual but messy. He wanted marriage and kids soon. She wasn't ready. They argued constantly toward the end. The relationship became unhealthy. They haven't spoken since the breakup. Chloe is Maya's best friend. They've known each other since college, about 6 years. According to Maya, Chloe has been there through everything. Bad breakups, family drama, career struggles. She's the person Maya calls when she needs to talk. Her ride or die. I met Chloe about a month into dating Maya. She was intense. Very invested in Maya's life. Asked me a lot of questions during that first meeting, where I worked, what my family was like, what my intentions were with Maya, whether I'd ever cheated, how I felt about commitment. It felt less like friendly interest and more like an interrogation. She's just protective, Maya explained later. She's seen me get upset before. She wants to make sure you're good for me. Does she do this with all your boyfriends? She did with Jake. And she was right to be cautious, look how that turned out. Fair enough. I appreciated that Maya had a friend who cared. But over the months, Chloe's presence became constant. She was at Maya's apartment every time I came over. She called during our dates. She had opinions about everything, what Maya should wear, where we should go, how I should be treating her. Maya would often check with Chloe before making plans with me. I need to make sure Chloe doesn't have anything planned, she'd say. Can't you just tell her we have plans? She had a bad breakup recently. I don't want to abandon her when she needs me. Chloe's bad breakup had been 6 months ago. But she was still apparently in crisis mode, requiring Maya's constant attention and availability. I tried to be understanding. Tried not to be the boyfriend who got jealous of his girlfriend's best friend. Tried to respect their friendship. But it was getting harder. Chloe started inserting herself into our relationship in weird ways. Suggesting dates for us, then getting upset if Maya didn't report back on how they went. Asking Maya detailed questions about our making love life, then giving advice based on Maya's answers. Commenting on our social media posts with things like make sure he's treating you right or remember what we talked about. Texting Maya constantly during our time together, then getting mad if Maya didn't respond immediately. Making passive-aggressive comments about me directly, he seems like the type who'd get controlling eventually or just don't lose yourself in this relationship like you did with Jake. Every time I mentioned feeling uncomfortable with Chloe's involvement, Maya got defensive. She's my best friend. She's allowed to care about my happiness. She can care without being this involved in every aspect of our relationship. You're being insecure. She's not a threat to us. I'm not worried about her being a threat. I'm worried about her having too much influence over your decisions. My decisions are my own. But were they? Every time Maya and I had a disagreement, she'd call Chloe. And somehow, after those calls, Maya's position would become more entrenched, her tone would shift, and she'd start using phrases that sounded like Chloe. I need to prioritize my own needs. I won't be in a relationship where I feel controlled. Healthy relationships have independence. All true statements. But they'd come after I'd done something minor, asked if we could spend one weekend without Chloe joining us, suggested Maya might want to turn her phone off during dinner, mentioned that I felt like I was competing for her attention. Then came Jake's message. It arrived late on a Tuesday night. I didn't recognize the Instagram account at first. Jake had apparently created a new one, Maybe to contact me without Maya knowing. Hey man, I know this is weird. But I feel like I need to warn you. Watch out for Chloe. She's not who you think she is. She destroyed my relationship with Maya and she'll do the same to yours. Be careful. My first reaction was anger. Who was he to message me? To try to interfere in my relationship? My second reaction was to tell Maya. Show her the message. Prove I was trustworthy and wouldn't keep secrets. She was furious. I can't believe he's still trying to cause problems. This is exactly why we broke up. He was always paranoid about Chloe. Always accused her of turning me against him. It was exhausting. Was there any truth to it? No. Chloe saw that he was controlling and helped me realize I deserved better. That's not manipulation. That's friendship. What did he think she was doing? He thought she was sabotaging our relationship. Convincing me he was bad for me. Turning every small issue into a major problem. But really, he was controlling and Chloe helped me see it. How was he controlling? Maya paused. He didn't like how much time I spent with Chloe. Sound familiar? The implication stung. I dropped it. But I couldn't stop thinking about the message. About Jake's warning. About the parallels between what Maya was describing and what I was experiencing. Was I being paranoid? Or was Jake trying to tell me something important? I started paying more attention. Watching the dynamic between Maya and Chloe more carefully. And I started noticing things. Pattern 1, Chloe undermined our relationship in subtle ways. We'd plan a weekend trip. Maya would mention it to Chloe. Suddenly Maya would be worried about the cost, or whether it was moving too fast, or whether I was being pushy about travel. These concerns hadn't existed before talking to Chloe. I'd suggest meeting Maya's parents. She'd be excited, mention it to Chloe, then backtrack. Maybe it's too soon. Chloe thinks we should wait. We'd have a great date night. Maya would seem happy. Then she'd talk to Chloe and suddenly be analyzing everything I'd said or done, finding problems that hadn't bothered her in the moment. Pattern 2, Chloe isolated Maya from other friends. Maya used to have a wider friend group. Other college friends, work friends, neighbors. But over the months I'd known her, those friendships had faded. She only spent time with Chloe now. What happened to Sarah? I asked once, about a friend I'd met early on. We don't really talk anymore. Why not? She said some things about Chloe that weren't cool. I can't be friends with someone who doesn't respect my best friend. What did she say? That Chloe was controlling. That I should be careful. But she doesn't know Chloe like I do. She was just jealous of our friendship. Another friend, Lauren, had apparently betrayed Maya's trust by suggesting Maya might be too dependent on Chloe's opinions. Another, Michelle, didn't understand female friendship and was pressured by how close Maya and Chloe were. Every friend who'd expressed concern about Chloe had been cut off. Maya's social circle had narrowed to just Chloe and me. And increasingly, Chloe was winning that competition. Pattern 3, Chloe positioned herself as the authority on what was healthy in relationships. Despite having a string of failed relationships herself, Chloe constantly gave Maya advice about ours. And Maya treated that advice as gospel. Chloe says if you really respected me, you wouldn't ask me to spend less time with her. Chloe says healthy partners don't get jealous of friendships. Chloe says I need to maintain strong boundaries or you'll become controlling like Jake. Every concern I raised, Chloe had an interpretation for. And that interpretation always painted me as problematic and her as protective. Pattern 4, Chloe's emergencies always happened during our important moments. My birthday dinner? Chloe had a crisis and needed Maya immediately. The weekend I'd planned a surprise trip? Chloe's ex texted her and she needed Maya's support. The night I wanted to have a serious conversation about our future? Chloe was going through something and Maya needed to be there for her. Every single time we had something important, Chloe needed Maya more. At first I'd written it off as coincidence. Bad timing. But the pattern was too consistent. Pattern 5, Chloe knew details about our relationship that Maya claimed she hadn't shared. We'd have a private conversation. Something personal or intimate. Then Chloe would reference it in front of me, in a way that made it clear Maya had told her everything. So how'd the discussion about moving in together go? Chloe asked once, even though Maya had told me she hadn't mentioned it to anyone yet. Oh, Maya told you about that? Maya tells me everything, said with a smile that felt territorial. I asked Maya about it later. Did you tell Chloe I brought up moving in together? Maybe? I don't remember. Why does it matter? Because you said you wanted to think about it privately before discussing it with anyone. Chloe's not just anyone. She's my best friend. So there's nothing you keep private from her? Why would I? She's the person I trust most. More than me. The implication was clear. I started feeling like I was in a relationship with two people, not one. Every conversation with Maya was really a conversation with Maya and Chloe. Every decision involved Chloe's input. Every conflict was analyzed through Chloe's lens. And every time I expressed discomfort with this dynamic, I was told I was being controlling. Just like Jake. 2 weeks after Jake's message, I did something I'm not proud of. I looked him up and sent him a DM. Hey. This is weird and I'm not sure why I'm reaching out. But your message about Chloe has been in my head. Can you explain what you meant? He responded within an hour. Can we talk on the phone? This is too complicated for text. We talked for 90 minutes. And everything he described was eerily familiar. At first, I thought Chloe was great, Jake said. She was Maya's best friend, she seemed protective, I respected their friendship. But then I started noticing she was always around. Always had an opinion about us. Always seemed to have an emergency when Maya and I had plans. That's happening now. It gets worse. She started planting seeds of doubt in Maya's mind. I'd do something totally normal, ask to spend a weekend just the two of us, suggest Maya might want to check in less frequently when we were together, and suddenly Maya would be questioning my motives. Accusing me of being controlling. Using language that sounded exactly like Chloe. What kind of language? Healthy relationships have independence. I need to maintain my own identity. I won't be controlled. All true statements, but twisted to make normal relationship expectations sound unhealthy. I felt a chill. Maya had said those exact things to me. Did you ever talk to Chloe directly about it? I asked. Once. Big mistake. She played the victim. Said I was confronting her for caring about Maya. That I was trying to isolate Maya from her support system. That I was showing my true controlling colors. Maya believed her. So what happened? The relationship became impossible. Every time Maya and I argued, Chloe was there validating Maya's worst interpretations of my behavior. Every compromise I suggested was framed as manipulation. Every boundary I tried to set was called controlling. Eventually, Maya ended it. Said I was too controlling and she couldn't breathe in the relationship. Do you think Chloe wanted you to break up? I think Chloe wants to be the most important person in Maya's life. Anyone who threatens that position gets systematically pushed out. I talked to Maya's ex before me, same pattern. And apparently there was a guy she was dating when she first met Chloe in college. That relationship ended within months of Chloe coming into the picture. So what do I do? Honestly? I don't know. I tried everything. Tried to be understanding of their friendship. Tried to talk to Maya about the patterns. Tried to set boundaries. Nothing worked. Chloe had more influence than I did. And the more I pushed back, the more controlling I looked. Why are you warning me? We've never met. He was quiet for a moment. Because I loved Maya. Still do, in a way. And I hate seeing what Chloe's doing to her. Maya's not a bad person. But Chloe has this hold on her, and it's destroying Maya's ability to have healthy romantic relationships. Someone needs to help her see it. I couldn't. Maybe you can. Or maybe I'll just end up like you. Broken up and bitter. Maybe. But at least you'll know you tried. After that conversation, I couldn't unsee the patterns. Couldn't ignore the parallels between Jake's experience and mine. But what could I do? Every time I tried to discuss Chloe's influence, I proved Chloe's narrative about me being controlling. I decided to try a different approach, document everything. Started keeping notes on my phone. Times Chloe had emergencies during our important plans. Instances of Maya using phrases that sounded like Chloe. Patterns of Maya changing her mind about things after talking to Chloe. Examples of Chloe undermining our relationship. Not to use against anyone. Just to confirm I wasn't imagining the pattern. The pattern was undeniable. I also started paying attention to Chloe's own relationships. Or lack thereof. Chloe was single. Had been for the 6 months since her bad breakup. But she didn't seem to be trying to date. Turned down setups. Wasn't on apps. Spent all her free time with Maya. She had no other close friends that I could see. No hobbies outside of things she did with Maya. No life separate from Maya's life. Maya was Chloe's everything. And Chloe was determined to be Maya's everything too. Last week, I tried to talk to Maya about it. Really talk. Not accuse, not demand, just express concern. I've been thinking about something, I said carefully. I'm worried about how much influence Chloe has over your decisions. Here we go again. Please just hear me out. I'm not saying she's a bad person or a bad friend. I'm saying I'm noticing a pattern where you'll feel one way about something, then talk to Chloe, then feel completely differently. That's called getting perspective from someone I trust. But it's not just perspective. It's like your opinions completely change to match hers. Because she helps me think clearly. Or she helps you think the way she wants you to think. Maya's face hardened. You sound exactly like Jake. Jake said the same things? Yes. And he was wrong. Chloe isn't manipulating me. She's supporting me. There's a difference. What if the difference isn't as clear as you think? What if you're just jealous that I have a friend who knows me better than you do? I'm not jealous. I'm concerned. There's a difference. You're being controlling. Just like Chloe said you would eventually. When did she say that? Months ago. She said you seemed like the type who'd start out nice but eventually show controlling tendencies. I defended you. But maybe she was right. The fact that Chloe had predicted this, had planted that seed months ago, only proved my point. But I couldn't say that without sounding more controlling. I love you, I said. I'm trying to protect our relationship. Not from Chloe as a person, but from the dynamic that's developing. The only thing intimidating our relationship is you confronting my best friend. I'm not confronting her. I'm noticing patterns. Patterns Jake noticed too. Patterns that were really just excuses for him being insecure and controlling. I won't do this again. I won't be in a relationship where I have to choose between my partner and my best friend. I'm not asking you to choose. Yes, you are. Every time you criticize her, every time you question my friendship with her, you're asking me to choose. And I'm choosing her. She's been there longer. She's never let me down. Can you say the same? I couldn't respond. Because in that moment, I realized Maya was already lost. Chloe had won. Again. That was 3 days ago. We haven't really talked since. Maya's been distant. Spending even more time with Chloe than usual. Which brings me to now. Sitting outside this coffee shop, watching them have their third meeting this week. Watching Maya laugh at something Chloe said. Watching them lean in close, conspiratorial. My phone buzzes. Text from Maya, working late at Chloe's on a project. Don't wait up. She's not at work. She's at a coffee shop. And she's lying about it. Not because she's cheating. But because she's prioritizing time with Chloe and knows I won't understand. Or maybe she's lying because Chloe told her to. To maintain boundaries with me. To not let me control her schedule. I don't know anymore. Don't know what's Maya's choice and what's Chloe's influence. My girlfriend's ex warned me about her best friend, and now I understand what he was trying to tell me, not that Chloe is evil or malicious, but that she's positioned herself as the center of Maya's world in a way that makes romantic relationships impossible, that anyone who gets too close becomes a threat to be systematically pushed out through subtle manipulation and reframing, and that Maya either can't see the pattern or won't acknowledge it because doing so would mean confronting how much of her life is dictated by someone else's needs. I don't know what to do. Every option seems impossible.